What do you
Okay.
what do you think about the undercover community?
I think that if you roll in undercover, right, there's no need to because I think the opportunities are endless.
Hero stood shoulder to shoulder with Meek Mill.
I'm at a point in my life like we all grew up in the streets and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today, and I'm proud of that.
Video footage from a birthday bash Sean Diddy combs through for his friend Meek Mill in April of 2014 has surfaced in the midst of the disgraced rapper's trafficking arrest. According to Daily Mail, the party was held at a Parisian palace in Las Vegas that Diddy rented for a whopping $25,000 for 24 hours.
We just got new footage of Diddy's party that he threw for Meek Mill's birthday, and Meek Mill saw this and blew up on Twitter.
Yo, Asad, what's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this real life.
Real life.
Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that Meek. Yeah, Meek.
It appears that Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill will always be resentful ex-partners, and their feud is far from over. The prosecution has wasted no time in outlining Diddy's trafficking ring's blueprint since the beginning of his trial. Numerous male escorts have already testified about their relationships with him and the abuse he inflicted on them. Over it, Nicki simply attacked Meek Mill, saying that Diddy always kept him on a tight leash and that he was just a kept man like the others. Nicki Minaj has previously mentioned that Meek Mill is secretly dating many other rappers in the business. Nicki will not tolerate Meek Mill's continued self-defense and posts claiming to know nothing about Diddy, especially in light of everything he has done to her.
Girl, they released all the photos of the sex workers that Diddy would hire to have sex with Cassie in front of him for the freak-offs. I looked at every last picture of those men. Not one woman was hired. Diddy is with women and shit because he can't be with a man for real.
This just sent straight from Philly. Philly MC said they want that smoke, so we're gonna see what y'all got. Meek Mill, you know, you ain't got nothing but air and opportunity to show them how it's done. I'm at a point in my life like we all grew up in the streets and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time.
Where would you be right now if you were just Meek Mill, who nobody knew, if you didn't have all these powerful people who raised your case up and made people pay attention?
I would be in prison. Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had.
She has been very critical of Meek Mill ever since their 2017 breakup. Nicki clearly liked him when they were together, with songs like All Eyes on You, By Your Heart, and Bad for You. They briefly gave the impression that they were going to be the newest power couple in hip-hop. However, after 2 years, things became extremely toxic, and Meek is accused of touching her. According to her, Meek Mill was one of those men who was always looking out for women but was extremely modest and afraid to approach men. You abused your own sister and recorded it, she added in a tweet. Taped it after fighting on her. Sent your mother to the hospital after kicking me in front of her. You felt tough again after sucking Drake's D. Additionally, if Nicki Minaj has a grudge against you, she will pursue it until there is nothing more to discuss. She handled the Meek Mill situation precisely like that. Shortly after criticizing him on the internet, she went on Instagram Live with Soulja Boy to discuss how she knew many down-low men in the business and how they made life hard for the women they eventually dated.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen. We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no. We don't know about that.
Okay. Because I do.
Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife.
This was enough to get people curious, and before long, there were answers, even though she didn't specifically name him or anyone. Lil Rod filed a sexual assault lawsuit against Diddy, but it was dropped in 2024. However, the lawsuit's apparent naming of other parties involved was what really got people talking. According to the report, Diddy was seeing a Philadelphia rapper who had dated Nicki, and Meek Mill was the only man who fit the description. People began searching for pictures and videos that showed Diddy and Meek looking suspicious, going all the way back to what Nicki had said. For example, why did they have photos of themselves in identical attire? Diddy even took Meek shopping, kid. And you know what that means, in 50 Cent's opinion. Why then does he feel so at ease telling Meek this?
Video footage from a birthday bash Sean Diddy Combs threw for his friend Meek Mill in April of 2014 has surfaced in the midst of the disgraced rapper's trafficking arrest. According to Daily Mail, the party was held at a Parisian palace in Las Vegas that Diddy rented for a whopping $25,000 for 24 hours, which according to the property manager Jason Haidt was left in a disgusting mess after the wild get-together. He told the publication, quote, there were broken bottles of alcohol, used condoms, blood on the beddings, powder, razor blades by the hundreds, lubricant on the dressers, and marble floors. Jason claims he also, quote, found panties, bras, and even 2 iPhones in the bushes behind the bowling alley. Diddy's personal assistant relayed specific requests for the party, including bringing their own smoke detectors and that all interior bedroom door locks were to be ordered new and left unopened for their arrival. The property manager was given a rough estimate of 850 guests for the mansion party. However, 900 guests showed up. Jason claimed most of the guests participated in, quote, drug-fueled festivities and described Diddy as being wasted. He said the party ended around 3 a.m. and claimed there was rampant cocaine use all over the $7.5 million property.
Joining me now is broadcaster and journalist Diddy Dunleavy. Diddy, let's start with video footage of the birthday party of Sean Diddy Combs, one that he organised for Meek Mill back in 2014. This video has resurfaced with the property manager of the location, the Parisian Palace in Las Vegas, claiming that there were broken bottles of alcohol, used condoms, blood on the bedding, powder, razor blades by the hundreds, lubricant on the dressers and marble floors, panties, bras, and even 2 iPhones in the bushes behind the bowling alley. Goodness me, sounds like quite the party. Do you think we're going to see footage of these parties, particularly the freak-out parties where all the grotesque goings-on were happening? And given the fact that we are hearing he taped everything, he had video cameras with him at all times.
Well, that's where I've got a question mark as to whether he filmed this or whether the property manager has bobbed up after. This is 10 years ago, this party. There's something concerning me a bit about this, and we get it by now. We've heard that Diddy has wild parties, but he's in jail. He's awaiting trial in May next year on some pretty serious charges, sex trafficking, etc.
Could be in jail for the rest of his life if convicted.
Exactly. So while this is a salacious story, I'm concerned that the more of this sort of story that bobs up, it's playing into the hands of the defence. They're going to, at some point, be able to argue that he's not going to get a fair trial. But where will they get a jury of people who haven't heard all of these claims? And I'm also just vaguely sceptical about this property manager who says that he found cocaine all over the house, but he thought it was icing sugar.
Well, of course, when you see a wild party attended by rock stars, you assume icing sugar.
Of course, and then he went around and collected it all and said he got about half a gram altogether. So his credibility's not high.
Well, how do you feel about your name being besmirched? Because now we say Diddy,
I know.
It's like my son and Hunter. When Hunter Biden's antics became world famous, Hunter Panahi had a moment to deal with that because it was the coolest name for many years, and now it's associated with Hunter Biden.
Yep, I'll go DEE instead of he is Diddy. Yep.
Now, there's a lot of celebrities who are nervous, not just about Sean Diddy Combs's parties and lists being released, but also the high-profile individuals, including a few billionaires who are on the Jeffrey Epstein list.
Well, it seems like yesterday they were out poolside with a video. It was Diddy and Meek Mill, and people were laughing and saying, "Hey, yo, pause," because he called Meek Mill daddy.
You deserve it, daddy.
I didn't see nothing wrong with that.
That's just so Puff Daddy calling somebody daddy is surprising to people.
It's if that was my significant other and another man calling him daddy, I'm gonna be like, why?
Well, Diddy said way more plausible stuff than that. I guess because he's Diddy.
Plausible, yeah.
I've heard that on a scale of 1 to, do you like to party? That's about a 2. on the Diddy scale, that's about a 2.
Everyone was initially shocked by what they were witnessing and attempted to explain it away as the result of Meek and Diddy's close friendship. Maybe they're just different, but I don't know any male friends who behave that way toward one another. I'm not sure. Problems of the wealthy. However, when more videos of Meek engaging in dubious behavior surfaced online, everything came to an end.
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis. You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud. Count out loud. Huh? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't cheat on your bunny hops. They suck. Your bunny hops suck. You got.
We do this for our family, our sons, whatever they taught us in the streets. We grew up looking up the. I looked up the like, but y'all was on TV. I was so far gone. We grew up looking up niggas on the corner that was on a corner for 25 years, and then I got in the game, and I got a chance to brush shoulders with that's setting family legacies. You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Next up, for real. I see you with your pop. A nigga rich getting money. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I got a son now. I ain't had no pop. I got a son now, so I'm trying to do it like that. Where I'm in somewhere in the middle of California. I got a house. My son got a house. My son getting money. I'm getting money. That's what we doing it for. Me and our whole family. Shout out to the Combs family for real. This real. Yeah, no, hell yeah. Puff took the sacrifice. Now it's on. Now it's y'all turn.
Buy they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mill.
Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that. To see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood whereas that he's dressing like, he dressing the same he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy, two men dressing like, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up.
Whenever history's being made, you guys know I like to talk about it. And these two made history by being the first two males in the hip-hop industry to openly have each other. You know, some court docs leaked. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he engaged in of course, with rapper 5 redacted. 5 being he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Well, that's too narrow. You know, this is one of the biggest moments in hip-hop history that we gotta celebrate because it's 2024. And it explains these videos very well because the voice you hear is Sean Diddy Combs himself.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no.
I mean, just look at how he looks at this man when he performs. This is some true love I didn't know about.
My man, you go to a party, dog, and the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill's up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other and he was searching for some online gay and all that other like that.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
A video of Meek Mill performing bunny hops for billionaire Michael Rubin was released. I am aware that people discuss humiliation rituals a bit too frequently. But regardless of how you interpret it, that was unquestionably a humiliation ritual. Furthermore, did you all know that Diddy actually hosted a party for Meek's 27th birthday? There are new, nasty details about the party that have surfaced. For Meek Mill's birthday, Diddy threw a lavish party at the opulent Parisian Palace in Las Vegas, which was packed with A-list celebrities. The Parisian Palace looked like a crime scene when the party ended at around 3 in the morning. Blood-stained bedding, broken bottles, used condoms, and even a half-ounce of nose candy were all over the mansion, which property manager Jason Haidt called disgusting. Even more bizarre, though, is the purported request Diddy made. He ordered new locks for each bedroom and insisted that only he be given the keys. He even brought his own smoke detectors, which his team set up and took down after the event. The freak-offs allegedly took place in these locked rooms, and Diddy allegedly oversaw everything, making decisions about who slept with whom. Additionally, everything is said to have been recorded for Diddy's personal use. And if you've been following this mess, you've undoubtedly heard the audio of two men fighting, which is allegedly Meek and Diddy. It was allegedly recorded by a bodyguard at this party.
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this motherfucker real life. Nigga, Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Meek Mills denies Diddy threw him a birthday party. Denies it. He said always somebody that's not black coming through and trying to tear down the black man. It's all lies. All these Diddy allegations are lies. He's never seen a freak off. Never. When the property manager came back, he responded. He said, Diddy specifically ordered him to change the locks to the interior bedrooms. It was 2 of those. The keys were specifically given to Diddy by request. You know what I mean? It was a $25,000 rental. By request, he had to change them locks and give them to Diddy. So he say Diddy didn't throw him a party. That's another lie. Yeah, Meek, bro, it's gonna be hard to wiggle out of this one. You know what I mean? Very hard to wiggle out. He trying to do the Ray J. That's what we gonna call it now. Meek Squilly trying to do the Ray J. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's not believable. Or tell him Meek, no Diddy gang. Tell him Meek, tell him Meek.
Thing is, Meek Mill always has made it a point to respond to people that are calling him out for this type of activity. It clearly gets under his skin because he's also sent out tweets like this one where he said, I want to hire an investigative team and pay him $100,000 cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name and how it's tied to the Diddy case, right? Even though there's been hundreds, if not thousands of videos made about all of the different things going on with Meek Mill and the Diddy situation. But Meek Mill can't seem to stay quiet about it. It's clearly been on his mind. And I think the best advice that Meek Mill has been given throughout this entire thing actually came from 50 Cent. 50 Cent had did an interview on Billboard.com and they asked him about the Drake and Kendrick beef and what they thought about Drake losing his footing a little bit. And he said, when you say something that isn't true and the person wants to defend themselves, they encourage the activity. The public likes that you're vulnerable because it matters to you that it wasn't true. They're gonna jump on you for being defensive. That's like Meek Mill. When they say Meek is fruity or gay with Puff in the situation, it's how he responds to it that makes people talk about it more. It gets bigger and bigger, and it turns into this thing that's going on out there. You don't hear one thing about French Montana, and French was in that circle and around that a lot, but you don't hear not one thing. And Meek is all over the place, right? 50 makes a good point. If Meek would just shut up about it, people would probably stop talking about it, but Meek won't shut up about it. In fact, he's found himself defending Diddy numerous times since all of the allegations came out. But about a week or two ago, we started to see a shift in Meek Mill's public perception of everything, right? Where he had been defending Diddy before, all of a sudden we seen him in this video talking about no Diddy gang.
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this. Let's real life. Real life. Yeah. Gang Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me. You heard?
So he clearly was trying to disassociate himself with anything that's got to do with Diddy, right? He wants to clear up his name a little bit.
So Meek Mill is denying that he is the rapper that is included in P. Diddy's newest lawsuit right now, all right? So if you guys can see at the very top, Meek Mill went on to X and he had a lot to say about the situation, and he was super mad at academics for actually getting online and reading the court paperwork, all right? But this court paperwork is super duper juicy, all right? We got people in it that I ain't even like, yeah. So look, let's jump straight into this paperwork and see what Meek talking about. I want to start at line 71, me personally, because this is where I feel like it's juicy. So at line 71, it does say, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in with rapper Redacted, R&B singer Redacted, and Stevie J. All right, so you see at the very end where it says rapper and it has 5 at the top. You go down to the bottom, you can see at the bottom it has 5 and it keeps going forward to explain. So it says on 5, he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj.
Guys, it's funny how Meek Mill done popped his head out and said he's putting forth all this money to see how his name got involved in all this stuff. Freak Mill, you know how your name got involved in this. The security made the tape of the morning when you and Diddy was going at it in the bedroom and he put the phone to the door. See that heavy Philly accent, that ooh daddy, ooh that's what got you caught, bro. And then, man, we don't dress like other men. If a grown man, if I go to a party and it's a grown man just like me, man, I'm leaving or changing my clothes. But hey, Freak Mill, you know, you could put all the money out there in the world, but you not only was getting used at Diddy parties, but you was getting used at the Dwayne residence by Robert Kraft and all them, the owner of the Patriots. That's why they gave you a Super Bowl ring, Brody, and released you. So, man, you be getting passed around like a from day one, but you say that you street.
Think Meek Mill now is out looking for help. Okay? Meek Mill seemingly asked for help, okay, from PR people amid being attached to Diddy news despite previously bragging about not hiring PR. Meek Mill says, just to think about it, you are waking up to a bunch of non-black owned publication posting major lies about me. Where are all the PR people go that was around me? Everybody see what's going on. I'm not going to be quiet. It's war on the black men. I think this is why I never hired a personal PR person. The times of the manipulators coming to an end in 2024, from computers to the Great Awakening. Okay, because because Elon Musk was saying, he made a tweet about public relations is propaganda, is a propaganda word for I can't read the full.
Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the fuck out. I don't drink, so I was playing that shit off like I don't fucking drink. I smoke, nigga. Like, I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the fucking door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard niggas struggling to take dick. I heard niggas being like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all that shit because I was like, this nigga Diddy rich.
The man who supposedly recorded the audio came forward to attest to its veracity and stated that he was positive it was Diddy and Meek Mill.
Well, you know, Meek Mill is also someone who has been tied into this whole Diddy situation, you know, mainly because of the Lil Rob lawsuit where, you know, Lil Rob claims that Diddy told him that they hooked up. You know, so Meek Mill tweets recently that he wants to hire an investigation team and pay him $100K to find out every specific detail involving him and the Diddy case.
That sounds strange. That sounds strange. Because you as a man, if you know you ain't do nothing and you ain't got no problem with nothing and you sure with yourself, you don't give a nobody else say. Why you gotta hire somebody that you wanna make sure or prove to somebody else that you and Diddy didn't have a relationship when you know within yourself you didn't have a relationship with him? Tell him, give me that 100,000. I'll tell everybody, Meek Mills ain't do with Diddy. And make sure everybody know that. Don't make no sense as a man. They talked about Jesus Christ. What are you worrying about what they say about him?
Do you think maybe he just wants to know what the feds know about him?
The feds gonna let them know anyway. When Diddy gets discovery, if he lets this go to the point whereas that whatever the feds is charging him with, they have to give discovery. Now, they don't have to give and show everybody what's on those tapes. You understand what I'm saying? And those tapes could be locked up and sealed away for a very long time. But whatever they charged with, they're gonna give the defense team the discovery. And if it's seen that somebody is there doing something that appears to be illegal, and he's a part of that, it'll be in the discovery.
From what I understand, the feds are real tricky. It's not like the state where they let you know everything ahead of time. Like, a lot of this stuff you might not even know up until right before the trial starts.
They can't produce it still, bro. If in fact he's being charged with something, that's where you have your good lawyers tell the judge, nah, Your Honor, we didn't get that. You can't bring that in court like that. That's what you have good lawyers for.
One of the things that I think was, you know, I kind of just didn't understand it, but they're saying that Diddy is facing asset forfeiture. The government wants to seize the properties tied to racketeering, trafficking, and charges.
That's a good way of saying that what a black man has earned all these years for doing music, we want to take it away because he didn't get this from doing music, which is a lie. He got those things for doing music, selling alcohol, doing whatever he was doing. So now they want to put a crime on it and try to seize his property and seize his things that he has earned, which has nothing to do with what they're trying to charge him with.
Yeah, it's literally nothing to do with what he's being charged with, which is what I thought was kind of crazy. But I mean, I guess because it's a RICO situation that, you know, they can try to work something out, but I don't know, it's probably gonna be difficult.
Yeah, because his money was, you know, loaned, whereas the point that anything he has, he could either put mortgages and all his other things on it. So the Fed is out of their mind with that one.
Hey Diddy, thanks for agreeing to do this interview. I know it's a really tough time for you right now, but we really appreciate your time.
Let's do it.
Now, Puff, P. Diddy, how do you want me to refer to you?
You can call me Love.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, all the allegations. Are you attracted to men or women?
It depends on my mood, my vibe.
Is it true that you've had with Meek Mill?
I can't tell you that.
Meek launched into a tirade in an attempt to defend himself almost immediately. He claimed it was all propaganda to discredit him. He even made a $100,000 offer to anyone who could identify the origin of these rumors. "I'm from Philadelphia," he said. "I'm not into freaky Molly or nose candy. I'm so heavy that no one would even offer me a Coke. The entire place didn't go crazy, and no man ever came up to me about gay activity. Every vlog seemed to know I was coming when I woke up and saw this. Haha. I don't believe no Diddy story once. They lied about me now," he added in a tweet. "It would be fantastic if someone could try to essay me. How are you all unaware of that? Funny. I don't give a damn. However, you are confusing my 12-year-old son with those who claim that his father is gay. It's ill. Bees ain't going to play no games with me," he continued. "They are attempting to control the damage. However, since he could have simply ignored it and moved on, it appeared that he was attempting to limit the harm. He had to complete an entire thread and more because he was so furious." Meek Mill is defending himself now that the federal government has already laid the groundwork for Diddy's ring and his violent and intimidating behavior. He claimed that, similar to other parties he had attended, the most bizarre thing he had witnessed at a Diddy party was people using drugs everywhere. Additionally, Meek declared, "I will never remain silent and allow false rumors concerning my name or manhood to persist. All of that was something my son had to witness and cope with while attending school. You guys are supporting him in this silent war against black men." According to people close to Nicki, she witnessed firsthand how Meek behaved like a boy toy around Diddy. He is attempting to portray himself to everyone as the homeless man who would never be bound in that manner by Puff. However, the fact that he is going to such lengths to denounce the rumors only suggests that they may have some validity. Fans are now supporting her. Meek Mill is making a lot of effort to show that Diddy was unfamiliar to him, but what is the truth? He was jumping for white men like a rabbit. During those parties, Diddy allegedly used at least 47 bottles of baby oil on Meek Mill alone. Given that they even had matching rompers, Meek undoubtedly gave in to Diddy's pressure. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this trial will reveal anything about Meek Mill? Please share your thoughts in the comments section and remember to like and subscribe, as there will be more in the future that you won't want to miss. See you in the upcoming video. Goodbye, Betties.